Go bags or bailout bags are small bags that you keep in your vehicle that if something goes wrong, either your vehicle's disabled or you have to get out and you get in a gunfight, it allows you to have the stuff on hand that you need to get you through that gunfight. Not to be confused with a 3-day pack or a get-home bag. These larger bags, these 3-day packs, these are for mission sustainment to get you by a few days to live out of. A go bag or a bailout bag is a small pack that again contains just the stuff you need on hand to get you through a firefight. Now, my experience is going to be based on with bailout and go bags way back in 2004, 2005 Iraq, working with 5th Special Forces Group. We had the mission of collecting intel on the growing insurgency. Because of this, we operated in civilian clothes. It's called low level, operating out of non-armored or light skinned vehicles. And because we're operating in a war zone, we had the very real possibility of getting compromised and getting in a gunfight. So we needed small packs that, again, allowed us to have the stuff on hand that we needed to get us through that firefight. And our SOPs and the bags we chose were really based on experience doing this mission. So let's get into bailout and go bags right now. Now, this need to be able to bail out of a vehicle under fire was a very real thing back in those early days in Iraq. In fact, a member of 5th Special Forces Group who got compromised ended up losing his life doing that low-level mission. So we had a very real requirement or necessity to be able to gunfight in and around these vehicles, and that drove our bag selection and really our SOPs and how we were going to bail out and engage the enemy if we had to. Now, this clip right here, it's a silent video. It's kind of degraded, lost of sound, but you can see members of my team in the speed in which we get out of that vehicle. We're shooting in this clip, and we don't even have time to put our little go or bailout bags on until we get to hard cover. So in that video clip, you can see just the kind of speed. Hey, once that vehicle's disabled, if it's non-armored, really it's a death trap and you want to get out of that vehicle. You don't have time to sit there and grab overly large bags. Basically, the rules are with a bailout or go bag is one, it's got to be small enough to be in the same part of the vehicle as you are sitting. So whatever seat you're in, your bag has to be within arm's reach. You don't want a bag that's too big that's going to catch on stuff. Or like you see in this video clip here, I'm trying to do it with a 3-day pack that Source 35L Patrol. You don't want a bag where you have to go to another compartment and take time opening up another door. We did practice putting these bags in like trunks or back seats, and frankly, you're not gonna have time under fire to get to that other bag. It's all hopes and dreams if you think you're gonna have time to get to the trunk or another part of the vehicle to dig out a large bag. You want a bag that's small enough you can grab with one hand and put it on around you with one hand, again, allowing you to keep your weapon arm free. So a very small bag. For the size of the bags we're looking at, again, we're not talking about 3-day packs. These are too large. This Source is a 35-liter pack. You're looking for something around 20 liters, kind of like this little fanny pack aid bag, or this Galapagos pack from Mystery Ranch. This is around 20 liters. This is about as large as you want when it comes to selecting your bailout bag. Now, I'll get into the exact contents of a bailout bag later on in this video. Right now, I want to focus on employment of that bag, basically how do you get out of the vehicle, and I'm going to be talking mainly about this medical waist pack or medical fanny pack. Back in Iraq, this was the primary type of bag we chose. One, it has a single strap, and a single strap bag is a lot easier to put on than, say, a backpack. You have to put it around both shoulders. Well, here you can just whip it around your body, and it's super easy to put on, and really it's the perfect size. In this photo right here, this is back, I believe, 2005 Iraq in a rural area. You can see one of those medical fanny packs sitting on the hood of the car. Back in those days, my loadout was, since I was rocking a MP5, back in 2004, I had 3 mags mounted horizontal on the outside of the pack. I carried 2 or 3 extra mags in the pack itself, 1 hand grenade, a radio, a SATCOM antenna, and some IFAK items. So very, very minimalistic, but that's the stuff I needed to get me through a firefight and call for help. Later on, in 2005, I switched to rocking a UMP 45, and I had a 2 mag holder. Again, I mounted it horizontally in the pack, so I had it mounted sideways. I carried a few extra mags in the pack itself. Again, 1 grenade, extra battery for the radio I had at the time, SATCOM antenna, and IFAC items. And I actually still had that 2 mag UMP 45 holder. I just sent it off to Henry at 9-hole reviews. He's got a UMP now, so I think he'll get better use out of that double mag holder. It's just sitting in my garage the last 20 years. But again, your go bag, your bailout bag needs to be small enough where it's not gonna catch on anything in the vehicle, and you gotta be able to get it on with one hand. So that's why these medical fanny packs or waist packs make really the ideal bag outside the military look. Now, back in Iraq, we didn't go walking around with these bags because they had that military look. They basically stayed in the vehicle, and again, they were only utilized if we had to bail out of the vehicle under fire. One more bag I really like is this canvas messenger bag. This is some generic one I got off of Amazon years ago. I've done a little bit of military contract work and I could not have a military bag. Again, this is a single strap messenger bag, so it's super easy to put on and it's just big enough to carry the stuff I need. It has 2 pockets on the outside that can hold water bottles. And when it comes to employment, again, the bag needs to be within reach of whatever compartment you're sitting in that vehicle. Basically on the floorboard right in front of where you're sitting is where we kept these. And I'm gonna show a few different video clips of me practicing employing the bag getting out of a vehicle. Now in this clip right here, you can see the door is bouncing. That's because I did not support keeping the door open with my foot. And that's why you have that door bounce when you're trying to shoot and lay down the lead. So one technique right off the bat is once you open the door, you keep that door open if you're gonna shoot directly from the V-notch or that split between the door and the front window. You gotta prop it open with your foot so you don't get that bounce. And you've gotta practice, again, shooting and putting the bag on with one hand. Now, backpacks are okay, but again, you have to stop to put both straps on your shoulders. I really like the single strap design. It's just a lot faster and easier to put on a single strap bag. And obviously with the bag that you choose, you need to practice putting it on and doing reloads. In this clip right here, I'm just practicing some reloads with my old medical bag, getting it on, again, working reloads. So with bag selection, it really depends if you can get by with a military looking bag or you really need a low level requirement civilian style bag. And again, nothing wrong with backpacks as long as they're small enough. But again, you do have to take the time to stop to put on both shoulder straps to secure it properly to your body. And once you do, if you are in a fight, and this is holding items that you need in a fight, well then everything's on your back and you can't get to it. That's why I really like the single strap bags. Again, we utilized medical fanny packs or waist packs back in the early days of Iraq. They were only a fraction of the tactical gear companies at the time back in 2004, 2005. These were on hand, and I always had mine rigged because they had MOLLE in the back. Rigged, again, back in those days with an MP5, I had a 3 mag holder mounted horizontally. Then UMP 45, I had a double mag holder. But on this one, I've got it rigged up with 2 AR or M4 mag pouches, a double pistol mag pouch. On this one right here, I've got 2 double mag holders for an AR, so this can hold 4 mags on the outside. And really, I think these are the perfect size. They sit nice right between your feet and where you're sitting in the vehicle. I'll talk about how the driver rigs up one of these bags here in a second. If you have that total civilian requirement, like I did when I was doing some military contract work, That's where this messenger bag comes into play. A far recognition signal of an American is Americans love to wear backpacks. And since I did that a little bit of military contract work years ago, and I only did a little bit, this has been my go-to bag ever since. In fact, I still carry this bag today. If you see me out and about, you're gonna see me with my waxed canvas messenger bag. Single strap, just large enough it's gonna sit between my feet and the seat, and it holds everything I need. Again, I'll talk about contents here in a second, but yeah, pretty good sized bag, and I think single strap bags are the way to go when it comes to speed and employing them if you do make some sort of enemy contact or get in a firefight and need to bail out. All right, I have the bag secured to the front seat with a bungee cord right here. You don't want this bag sitting loose. It could interfere with the gas or brake, especially if you stop abruptly or ram a vehicle. And the strap is secured with some elastic bands, just S-rolled to, again, keep it nice and snug. Now, to employ the bag, keep the rifle inboard as a driver, grasp that strap, bust those elastic bands, give it a sharp tug, and the bag is ready to go. You can also store body armor in your vehicle this way. The key is to turn it inside out, back plate facing forward. I've got it bungeed to the seat. And to employ it, since it's inside out, give it a sharp tug. Go ahead and put that plate up and over your head. The front plate's going to be there. Do up the sides. And that's it. You're ready to go. Now, in all the various clips of me practicing out on the range, bailing out of a vehicle, if you noticed, my sling has been undone in all those clips. And you actually don't want a loose sling inside of a vehicle. It can catch on the seat or something else in the car, get caught, and then hinder you getting out of the vehicle. So one trick of the trade that's been out there for the longest time is to take a rubber band and S-roll your sling around that rubber band. The rubber bands I like is actually a bicycle inner tube. You just cut 1-inch strips to make your own Ranger bands, and a simple pull and pop of the sling, and this is going to come out and you can employ your sling. So you want to stow your sling on your rifle to keep it tight again so it doesn't catch on anything when you're bailing out of that vehicle. All right, for non-war zone, some contents: mini IFAK shrink wrapped, a SWAT T style tourniquet. I think more important than an IFAK is really a mini first aid kit to treat small cuts and scrapes, because it's going to happen, and you need to have 3 days of medication, I think, for yourself or any family members. And then right here, a little Write in the Rain notebook, pen and marker, and I think very important, you need gloves to protect your hands once you're out and about. Mini cleaning kit for both rifle and pistol right here. And you need a way to get clean water. I think iodine tabs, or here I have a life straw. And I don't like loose magazines just banging around in a bag, so I just keep them contained in a little double mag holder for my pistol right there. And a mini charger for a phone, of course a flashlight, and a waterproof case filled with batteries for flashlight and optics for your both rifle and pistol. Now, if you've seen my Team Sergeant gear video, which I'll put a link down in the description, even in Afghanistan, I utilized a go bag. It was this bag right here made by Warrior Assault Systems. Again, it's around 20 liters. I didn't really necessarily have to get it out and deploy it under fire as much since I was wearing full kit. I already had a full basic load on me if I got in a gunfight, but I still utilized inside a vehicle a small bag that anytime I got out of the truck, I could put on me and have basically really an extra basic load and water and things I needed if I got in an extended firefight. So even in a full-blown tactical situation where you're already rigged up in full kit, again, having a go bag or a bailout bag that really plusses up with everything you need for a firefight within arm's reach inside of a vehicle is always a good idea. So there it is, bailout or go bags, the bag that gives you the stuff on hand that you need to get through some sort of dangerous situation. Now, what type of bag you're gonna carry, that's really up to you, but the key is you gotta practice employing that bag. You gotta train with it. Otherwise, it's gonna be all hopes and dreams if you are expecting to be able to grab it, say if something kicks off and you're in the middle of a firefight and your vehicle's disabled. If you don't practice employing that bag, well, it's gonna be in the back of your brain. You're gonna be jumping out of the vehicle. And then when you're 50 yards from that vehicle, you're gonna remember, oh snap, I left my bag in the truck. So just like with a firearm, you gotta practice donning and employing these bags, practice reloading from these bags. So as always, hopefully you found this video informative and entertaining. I'm Jeff Gerwich. Thanks for watching.